young and do it all for the G. I gotta keep in mind that relatives of mine is trying to build like me. Sit down with Gconnet, gotta think. Every moment got you tapping the mental and looking out for the key. As a young and do it all for the G. I gotta keep in mind that relatives of mine is trying to build like me. Sit down with Gconnet, gotta think. Every moment got you tapping the mental and looking out for the key.
What's good, y'all? This is kingtechtv, hanging with Gconnet, where different generations have real conversations. Make sure you tap in. One love.
I'm right here on Gconnet, you know what I'm saying?
Tapping in with Gconnet.
Hey, yo, it's your boy, Mr. 16, tapping in with Gconnet.
With Gconnet.
This Chris Long tapping in with Gconnet.
This Talking Junk Network tapping in with Gconnet.
Tapping in with Gconnet.
My boy Gconnet.
So the first record was released in '99. That was Blackworks, East to the Back.
No, we did that 89. 89, Heed the Word was the first release off Island, 4th and Broadway Island Records. And that was after high school. I won a couple of record opportunities from high school. A lot of the A&R scouts was going through high schools to see who was the best. You know, you had cats like ODB and Kane and stuff like that moving around different high schools. It was like being a dope ball player. You had to go and dive in it and go battle and show your face. You know what I'm saying? So these were our days of doing that. You know, so 89, after all the high school bids and everything, I got in the movement first. I didn't release records like that. I was in training in Black Militant School, Blackwatch. And that was like early, that was right after high school. I didn't go to college. I went straight into the movement. And then I got a record deal once they had heard the demo that I did at Ultramagnetic. That's why I said Brother Architect brought me up there. And he said, yo, the little security brother could rhyme. And, you know, I never really displayed my talents in front of the movement like that because it wasn't about rhyming back then. You know what I'm saying? When people got a hold of X-Clan and everything, you know, it became more music and stuff. But, you know, it was a lot of studies and a lot of, you know, a lot of combat. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things going on in that circle back then. And, you know, the music kind of aided that time a little bit. You know, we kept our thing rolling because we in the middle of it. We in the front line. So, you know, it was what it was.
With that being said, would you mind speaking on what it was like for you on the East Coast, being part of a movement that was bringing our people together with the music, culture, knowing that on the other side of the world, it was our own people dividing us with gang culture?
You know, I mean, I never attacked the gang culture because that was the only translation of learning how powerful our edge was. You know what I'm saying? They separated the elders from the streets, and that's what made it, you know, ignorant at times, you know, because the baton is not being passed on correctly. You know, protect the community rather than tear it down. So where we were in Brooklyn, Sonny Carson had brought a lot of the Brooklyn gangs together. You know what I'm saying? To where, you know, there was justice, not vigilante justice, but the community handles things where we don't have to call on the man all the time. You keep calling on the man, he'll show up like you need him, even when you don't want him. So we show that we can protect our communities on our own. You know, Brooklyn is, you know, New York period, there's a lot of people there, bro. It's a small place with a lot of folks, so we can only do for so much. But when they do mess with us into a place where, you know, we can really actively respond with the community behind us, like how Yusef Hawkins was, you know, young man going through an Italian neighborhood and get beat down with bats. You know, that could be your cousin, that could be your mama. You know what I'm saying? That could be anybody in your family just want to walk the streets of New York. It shouldn't be something where you're held back from that. So we showed up a couple thousand deep, you know, to stop the city that day. You know what I'm saying? When you clog up the mouth of the Brooklyn Bridge, you basically can back traffic up all the way to Midtown. So, you know, this is something that the elders had put together. You know what I'm saying? Because as young heads, you would have thought to just do like they do today. They be, you know, smashing stuff and going through all of that. we were young, having to stop people from mashing and stay focused to the march. It was different. So we were hoping to set the blueprint for people to say to young people in our generation who followed our music and stuff, like, yo, we got elders who we give respect to. You know what I'm saying? And we listen, and it flows in a harmony. So we were having demonstrations like that, and there'll be no violence. You know what I'm saying? And nobody go home hurt. Nobody's car blew up, be it police or citizen. None of that. And we're not getting no permits or nothing. I can't get a permit from you to demonstrate you did something wrong. You allow these people to escape where somebody's dead. You know what I'm saying? And we got to stop this because it elevates to what a George Floyd is today. You know, it elevates to all of the lives that we lost. You know what I'm saying? So we tried to say this 20, 30 years ago. And, you know, it's a shame that we still have to keep doing that. So we would have hoped that the West Coast or Midwest or South or whatever, you know, people who relate with that, let's unify beyond the music, man, and let's do something of quality. Usually when people unify, they don't know what to do, you know, but have a good time and party. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we guilty of having that good vibration in us, man. We so happy when we come together and there's peace. We forget that there's, you know, a mission at hand. And, you know, our people don't want to spoil the party and speak the truth about what has to be done. So we said, you know, let's put it in the music. You know what I'm saying? And by the time they listen to our music and go home and say, man, what's this guy talking about? You know, what's in the leg bar? You know, who's a Sonny Carson? Who's a Malcolm X? Who's, you know, all of these people that we talk about in our pieces, be they spiritual or be they social, political, whatever it is, do the research. You know, I don't have to get on these tracks and be sounding like CNN. You know, you hear our stuff in the club, it's just like any other music. If it's dope, it's dope. If it's not, it's not. You know, so we had the benefit of a thumbs up from our people, man. So we took, back to your topic of, you know, what it feels on the East or West Coast. It wasn't about that. You know what I'm saying? It was about Black people everywhere having issues and why. If we the original people, why we having all these problems? And that was what was put on the table. You know what I'm saying? We were a beacon for that through music. And my brother has started that Blackwash movement with the hope to bring hip hop and Black nationalism together. Black nationalism as an improvement tool and not a separatist act. You feel me? So I don't have to be Benetton to be, you know, in the realm of humanity. You know what I'm saying? Meaning I just gotta ignore the fact that there's centuries of treachery going down from people's ancestors. And we have to realize if that's ended or not before I call you my comrade. But it's not like I wouldn't be willing to sit at the table and discuss areas of improvement for all of our people. You feel me? So Black nationalism is our tool. It's not for someone to judge if it's cool or not, for us to talk about it or whatever. It's not for that. It's for Black people when I conversate to improve themselves. So we are shining at the table. Okay? Most times we come to the table dirty or serving someone else some food. We need to come and sit up right and live as we say that we are as original man. That's no one's fault but our own. So that Black nationalism allows me to create that little incubator to say, yo, let's go have a conversation outside of everybody else. That means people mind your business politely. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what our music was on. It didn't separate anyone because if you study world history, you can still walk with X-Clan. If you study cultural situations around the world, we are known for many things. And I dived into as much as I could within the realms of time as far as music is concerned. You only got with 3 or 4 minutes a song, so I can't gather thousands of years of influence that we've had in just a couple of pieces, but I can influence others to go dive deeper into themselves and find your DNA and speak it. You feel what I'm saying? So I hope throughout these 30 years that has inspired people to go and do that, man. I see a lot of culture now, much more than, you know, when I was coming up, it was about, you know what I'm saying? The streets and the universe was my college. you know, meeting these different elders and communities. You know, we weren't always, you know, at the Vegas spot and this and that. We were that. We did arenas, but we did a lot of places where people can't go and perform because a language is out of place. You know what I'm saying? You know, these cats want to be, I'm positive, but I curse a little bit so the cats in the street will like me. That's not an excuse. That's you really degrading people, like you only deserve a certain amount of language, so I'm just going to keep cursing at you since you like it so much. That's ridiculous. Why do the people of the street deserve verbal abuse for you to sell a record? That makes no sense. But, you know, for years, I'm rhyming now with no curses on my material. My last 3 albums, absolutely no curses, you know, and my music is hard as whatever you want to put it up against. It doesn't matter to me. I continue to be the blueprint until they learn better.
With D and G2Bs, a generation conversation. If you ain't got the patience,